like it was a movie. She had some popcorn and some soda, and then just sitting back there. And then as soon as they come over and try to get her, she gonna start running now.
We were talking about how she stood there too long.
Yeah, with her mouth dropped.
She's still watching. And they come and told her she's still standing there and how long time. We're like, why don't you get moved? Stop entertaining the enemy. That's what we're saying. Stop entertaining the devil. She's basically, we were like, she stood there too long. She should have been gone. But
Okay, Miss Cameron.
I think when Adam he was on the ground and he said get the girl. I think he was thinking of Emily because he didn't want the same thing to happen to that dude that what happened to her because he didn't want him to be in that kind of situation like he was. So he wanted to make sure that the girl was safe.
yeah, we didn't even think about that. That he had, because he did kind of have a look of it, a look on his face. Now that you mentioned it, when he was talking about, and then when it was all over,
She okay?
yeah, and they came and said, the girl's okay, the girl's okay, and so he might have been thinking about his daughter and that he didn't want another father to feel or go through the same thing that he went through losing his daughter. That's right. A very good point. That's something we didn't even talk about during the shooting. How we as Christians, when we go through certain situations, and why God allows us to go through certain situations, because at that time we develop a passion for it not to happen to somebody else.
That's right.
And so that's the heart of an evangelist. To say, I've been without Jesus, I know what it's like to be without Jesus, and I don't want anybody else to live life without Jesus. And so then that's your passion, and or when you're going through something. Why do you think, we always talk about it. God allows us to go through something, because a lot of times when we go through, we gain that passion to not let somebody else go through. Because we like, I don't want nobody to go through what I just went through.
That's right. Jocelyn.
Kind of going with that, kind of to go on with what they were saying, when the dad picked up his daughter and like hugged her and twirled her around and stuff, I was saying Adam, he had his look on his face like, oh my gosh, that reminds me of me and Emily.
Yeah, that's right. It's kind of intense.
So, like, it's kind of like a connection because, like, when he didn't want the dad to go through that same thing, it's kind of like what we all do, like, the parents, they go through something and then they tell their children not to do it because they've done it before.
I'm still laughing at you.
And that was priceless.
I know, that was good. That was good.
All right, Terrence.
I start looking at it like the little girl called for her father, which you could represent as God, and then the sheriffs, they could be angels. Like their main job as a police officer or sheriff, their main job is to protect the people as any way possible that they can do by the law, which is what God commands His angels to do, is to protect His people or like look out for them. I mean, so the angels and the sheriffs were basically doing their job, looking out for him. So when Adam, I think that's his name, was asking about the little girl, he basically was acting like that angel protecting the little girl, saying, is she okay? As long as she's okay, that really doesn't matter. My life doesn't matter as long as the little girl's okay. And that's basically the angel's job, is to protect us at any cost. That's basically their job.
That's good. Good analysis.
Somebody give them the mic.
Huh?
Somebody give the kids the mic.
Just keep on keeping on them.
Well, it's coming out of them, so that means that it's him. So, all right. So is there anything else somebody want to bring out? We'll go ahead and begin to go into the Father's Day speech scene. Anything? All right. So we're going to put your mind back into that place of last Tuesday when we watched the Father's Day scene. We'll go over some of the questions and some of the questions that they have for us here. Some of the discussion questions that they have for us here for the Father's Day scene. And let's see. the first question here says, take some time to think about and discuss Adam's speech. Feel free to watch the scene again if you missed it. Take any talking points. Were you impacted by this message? If so, how? I'm gonna just be honest with you. For me and myself, I'm saying, the speech and the actual movie itself always makes me have to do a double take of me. Always, if I watch that movie, I always go back and, and I reevaluate me. I reevaluate me with my wife. I reevaluate me with, each one of my children. I reevaluate me even on my job. So, that's how that movie impacts me. When I watch it, that's why I watch it. I watch it kind of frequently. So every so often I pick it up and I watch it just so, because every time I watch it, it's just like we all did. Each one of us seen something different in each one of the scenes. And so, but it was still something that, that we all could relate to. So each time I sit back and I watch it, it always, gets me in a different way. I remember like the first time we watched it, what was it, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, me and Sharon was in Walmart buying TVs for kids and stuff like that, because I was like, man, am I doing enough? So, just some things like that, and just, just relationship-wise. And anybody, y'all can chime in anytime y'all want to.
When I start on the whole aspect of the speech itself, just re-emphasize getting in position, understanding that, and not just for the men to understand, but for the women to understand that the men are the head of the house, and that they are, as the head, responsible for the house. Again, as we talk to the women, we talk about us being helpmeets and us being consultants, and we help you carry out that. But ultimately, God has given you all that position, and it's reiterating and speaking it into the congregation, which is made up of men and women, so they can understand. The women can understand that the men are the head and get in line, and the men understand that they're the head and get in the position. Speaking it, verbalizing it.
Yes.
So the father is the head, the wife is the body, and the children are the arms and the legs.
Okay.
Well, we can put it in
So you're
there.
saying that the parents walk on the children?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, so I got it right.
We can learn anything from my swap today.
We're the body. We have the man and the wife. I'm talking. The man and the husband. The man and the wife are the head, the man is the head, and the wife and the children are like the body. What part of the body can change from day to day?
Exactly. Yes. Go ahead, Johnson.
Kind of like what you were saying about reassuring yourself or whatever. Kind of like what I wrote yesterday. I was saying that everybody needs to start over, to rejuvenate themselves. And even God had to do it when He restarted the earth, when He flooded it and restarted, And, we all need to do that every now and then. We just start over and restart ourselves and,
Amen.
regain how we were when we were born ourselves, how God made us,
Preach, girl.
One of the biggest things that we kind of mess up at as people, we should never fail to take the opportunity. If we mess something up, don't never hesitate or be scared to say that I messed up. Because it's the only way you can realize or confess or say that you messed up about something is when, a situation can begin to heal, or when, we can move on from a situation. It's just like you said, we can start over. If I say, look, Johnson, I know, when I first met you, we didn't have the best of relationship. But you know what, I should have done more. I should have done more. Maybe I should have took you to the mall more. Maybe I should have bought you some more ice cream. Situations like that. Some just get to a place where you can always start over and, you know what I'm saying, and to build a relationship, right? Okay, Terrence.
Okay, it's almost, when Josh talking about you got cleansing yourself, it's almost like taking a bath. When you, really, you're supposed to take a bath twice a day. When you wake up and before you go to bed. You don't want to wake up in sin and you don't want to go to bed in sin.
Mhm. Okay, Mrs. Zach.
So it's just like Black Ops 2. Cause some of these missions are so hard, I don't even know what to do. Then you gotta restart. Mommy, Daddy, I didn't make it. So you can't be afraid.
That's right. Very good.
Okay, Miss Cameron.
It's kind of like what happened in class one time. So there was some, I just found out this. There was some people who knew that Cameron the boy, he bought his iPod to school. He left it. He had it in his backpack, and then um, the day after that he had brought it back, and then so we were going over something, and then we started hearing something ringing, and then we heard that it was the iPod, and then some people they finally told us that they knew that it was in there, so and they kind of got in trouble, so
Kinda.
yeah.
You did or you didn't.
You know, one thing too, just before we came here, I was watching this TV show, Wife Swap. Y'all ever seen that show?
Oh my god.
And,
They are so mean.
Yes, they are.
They are
Well,
so
no,
mean.
It's all
doing the
scripted.
show to me, you know what I'm saying, it's kind of like, more or less like a wake-up call for some people, because, you know what I'm saying, the show that I was watching today, they did a white swap with a black family and a white family. And so the black family was real strict, you know, and, you know, I saw a lot of men sharing in that family, but they strict, you know what I'm saying, you know, clean your room, do your homework, blase, blase. But then with the Caucasian family was come home, do your homework when you want to, go have some fun just as long as you get done. But then as, you know what I'm saying, the show went on, but by the time they got towards the end of the show, each family was able to take something, you know what I'm saying, if not, you know what I'm saying, do a total change, but each family was able to take something from each one of those families to, you know what I'm saying, make their family, to make the family or the household run a little better, or either better the relationship, because, you know, the Caucasian family was more or less, you know, carefree, spend time with the kids, and, you know, everything else will fall in line.
32,000 pets.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and then, you know what I'm saying, you had the black family, they were like, well, we gotta work, you know what I'm saying, because we always got to be on the grind, we always on the grind, so, you know what I'm saying, we didn't have time for family. And so by the time the end of the show came, they took a little bit of the family and the relationship building from the Caucasian family and incorporated into their household, which in turn their family relationship got better. You know what I'm saying? The husband relationship got a little better with his wife. The relationship with the mother and the father got better with the children. And then on the other hand, the Caucasian family took the structure from the black family, because the white kids, the white children, they would come home, them jokers wouldn't clean it up, they wouldn't do nothing. It was just straight party all the time. So, you know,
In the household.
yeah, that house was tore up. But by the time, you know what I'm saying, they took those little things from each other and they used it, you know what I'm saying. Both sides was able to capitalize and something great was able to come out of it.
They were at extremes and they needed to find the median,
Mm-hmm.
which is how many of us can get when it comes to, you know, sometimes you gotta stop and smell the roses or stop spend some time with kids, and
Exactly.
sometimes people do too much of carefree, they got to do some work, they got to have some structure, and then we got to find our median.
Right. Okay. Next question, it says, Adam says that a father should seek to win their children's hearts. What are some practical ways that fathers could do this? How does this promote a heritage of faith?
Bottom line, we spend time with them.
I know Zachariah, I guess I'm talking for you, your testimony, maybe, I don't know. But he does a lot of writing about his dad, and just like you said, Elder Shannon, a lot of it has to do more with just the fact that he spends time with him. He helps him when he needs it, help him with his schoolwork and different things like that. When he can't figure it out, he'll spend time with him and take that time and patience with him and work on it with him. So that just spending that time.
Right.
It's not all about buying stuff. And a lot of times we get it mixed up. If I just buy them this or buy them that. But you got to spend time with your kids. You got to spend that time. But this is not just anything, but just being there for them when they need you to have conversations.
That's a good question for some of the kids to ask too. The question that, what are some of the practical ways that fathers could do this? As far as it says that Adam says that fathers should seek to win their children's heart. Let us know. How could we do that?
Let me beat you in 2K.
You're funny, Karen.
Whoa. When we get home, I mean,
He
said, let me beat you.
Now,
Anything but that.
think about what you just said. If he let you beat you, if he let him, if he let you beat him, yeah, that's what it is. Now, how good would you really feel about the fact that you already asked him and then he let you beat him pretty bad? Would you really feel good about it?
Yeah.
Oh.
You know you couldn't beat him.
Exactly.
I know I can beat him. I don't even serious.
Then you don't need him to let you.
Exactly.
Well, we can try this when we get home.
Mhm.
We get home.
Really to win a child's heart, it's not really win as in like a prize. It's not something you can buy really. It's not really something that you can buy ice cream with. It's more of a love thing. You can't buy love. It's like something that's given. It's not like you can lose love. And it's not like you have amount of love and it's just you have to divide it like that. You can make more love. It's just something that God does. He makes more love. When there's more children born, He makes more love. He doesn't divide it even more when there's more children. He makes more so that each of us have the same amount of love, Like,
You know, you sound like that girl on the TV shows.
More.
More.
We make more. We need more love.
We just want more.
We need more
you
love.
get what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, I understand.
That was good. Because I love that commercial. I absolutely love that commercial.
Well, when you put it that way, it makes so much sense.
Affinity tries affinity.
Yeah. At the table all the time and stuff like that.
I was gonna say, but definitely, because a lot of kids, especially when they have siblings, feel that the parent loves one sibling more than the other. And it's kind of hard to explain to a child, no, I love you guys all the same. It may look as though, but I don't, because I gotta love this child this way. I gotta love that one that way. I love that one this way. I love that one that way. All y'all can't be loving at the same level.
way.
Everybody don't want it.
We are not a failed family.
So each child has their own personality. And some kids want to be hugged and kissed all the time. Some will be left alone. Some want to be read. So it's good that you finally get that point that we create more love. We don't take for one another. It's just a natural thing that parents do for their kids. It's something that God gives us. God gives us more love, we give it to y'all.
That's a movie on Disney Channel.
Don't spoil it, girl. That was deep.
You shouldn't have never said that. You shouldn't have never said that.
Back square one.
You ain't here to get credit to nobody.
I
I know, right?
So we don't want Disney Channel, so we don't know.
You should have said that.
Cameron would have figured it out.
Karen watch it.
Yeah.
Aaron, but you ruined the
I'm
moment.
still,
Aaron.
oh, I know that. No, of course you know I was gonna say God does us the same way. Everybody, God does not, He loves us all the same, but because we have different personalities, He loves us differently. Not less, but differently, because we have different, and that's why our relationship with God is different. It has a foundation. We all have a foundation of things that we have to do in our relationship with God, but then it's different for everybody. It's an individual walk because we are individuals. We are different. That's why we have different churches, because people worship differently. Again, it goes back to how my relationship is with God is different because I'm a different individual. So my worship, I'm going to worship, I'm going to pray, I'm going to study, I'm going to pray, but it may not look like how you do it because we're all different, but He loves us all the same. He just does it differently.
That's real important. This one time I was Sharon was studying before she was sleeping. I'm like, how are you sitting there studying with that music playing? You know, I gotta be quiet. I gotta be somewhere to myself. You know, but she just in there. And I'm like, she's like, I'm studying. I'm like, how are you studying with that music playing? I can't even watch the TV. Yeah, so yeah, that's a privilege. Yeah.
Yeah, like I like to go to the closet and just like simultaneously in the morning, I go in the closet, he go in the bathroom. And I'm like, hey, I gotta have, I can't be thinking, I can't be, that atmosphere just don't work for me.
I like the toilet.
He loves it.
I like the toilet.
I'm like, the environment itself just ain't gonna work for me.
You just said that on TV.
But it's like,
It's me.
sometimes if we get up, he go in one door, I go in the other.
All right. Now we have just a few more minutes, so I'll ask you we'll run through one more question. It says, as a father, you are accountable to God for the position of influence He's given you. How does the eternal perspective provide accountability for those who might need it? Oh, I'm sorry, we had another hand. Yes, he does. I'm so glad that he did too. Okay, Jocelyn, what you got?
Okay, before I answer, accountability means responsibility, right? Basically, kind of.
Yeah, more or less, you know what I'm saying, knowing that, you know.
Holding somebody responsible for their actions.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I take you to clean your room.
I'm gonna hold you accountable if you don't do it.
If you don't,
That's right.
then you have to take whatever actions come from not cleaning your room.
And it says, how does this eternal perspective provide accountability for those who might need it?
I got one of you. I know how that works.
Can I finish answering?
Go ahead.
Basically, what it's saying is like that as a father, that God is giving each father, even if it's not a father, each man a certain type of authority. That when he says something, it's what's the word?
It's appropriate.
Not appropriate.
Final.
Yeah, final. It's final. Not really, but.
Has some authority.
I think that's all.
Okay, authority. It's final, and I lost my train of thought.
Well, basically what they're saying is God holds me accountable. And your mother doesn't know who God is. You don't know who
Yeah,
God
that's what I'm saying.
is. Terrence doesn't know who God is, and he's holding. Pastor Eric accountable for everybody over his family, knowing who God is. And so, it's up to us to, you know what I'm saying, either live that life, project it, teach it, sit down through, you know what I'm saying, teaching it through the scripture, through our living, the whole nine. So, that's pretty much, you know what I'm saying, what that accountability is saying. Mr. James, you want to say something?
I think for me, obviously I've only been married 3 years. I'm still learning a lot about what being the head of a household means. Learning how to be a husband. Because it's not like you can read a book and then you learn all the answers.
Nope.
I think we could be married for 55 years and I'd still be learning things about how to be a better husband.
Right.
And I think I can't remember who I was listening to on TV, but he was talking from a standpoint of being the head of a household as a man. Doesn't mean you dominate your wife.
Right.
It means
Right.
you're accountable for everything that goes on or doesn't go on in your household.
Right.
And he was like, a man being head of household is kind of like God telling the wife to duck so he can punch the husband in the face. Because if something isn't happening correctly, God's not holding the wife accountable to run the house. He's holding the man accountable.
Exactly.
So it's not about I have the authority because I'm the man. I have the responsibility because I'm the man. So, just like right now, whatever comes out of this church, it's Eric's responsibility. Pastor E is held responsible for what comes out of this whole ministry. It doesn't mean he gets to take all the praise. He has to take all the responsibility.
Right. That's exactly right.
Yep.
That's a good point that you made too. That, you know what I'm saying, that we not treat our wives as though, you know what I'm saying, they're our slaves. You know what I'm saying? God said he gave us a helpmeet. They're to help us, you know what I'm saying, run the household. But still, this is the way, you know what I'm saying, that I understand this. It's more or less, all right, we're working this thing together. We're doing this together. But, you know what I'm saying, if we come to making a decision, down to a point where we're making a decision and we can't come to a common ground, then pretty much, you know what I'm saying, then it's up to me to make the decision. So,
That was me. Well, two statements, just to talk about what you said as far as, we get comes to common ground and you make the final decision. It also ties back into as far as the women, not necessarily knowing their place, but knowing their place. That once the final decision is made, then we can't come back and change it because we feel like it ain't the right decision. Because in the long run, if the decision that the man decided on is not the right decision, that's something that you guys said, oops, my bad. Instead of us coming in and changing and don't work out, and we gotta go, oops, my bad.
We also, as men, got to make sure that we're continually seeking God for his wisdom and his guidance, and so that we are making the right decisions too.
Well, one thing I try to stress to women too is that irregardless of whether we agree with the decision or not, we need to stand, you gotta get to a point, because I'm married to you, Pastor E, irregardless of whether I like the decision or agreed with it or not, at some point I'm gonna have to give up the ghost and stand with it.
That's right.
And so when it all goes awry, it's not, because I'm gonna tell you, it's a hard thing to make a mistake and be by yourself. And you married?
Yep.
We supposed to be in this together. Whether I make a mistake or not, as far as making a decision that we're, for the house, and just like you said, if I'm a woman and go back and do something different than what he said, and it go awry, I'm by myself. I'm holding the bag all alone. The blame is all on me. Sorry, y'all.
And relationship and growth, because you remember when she told him that you the father, like way back in the beginning of the movie. Even though he didn't do what he's supposed to do in regards to the kids and the relationships and stuff like that, she still had to build back that confidence. Because, sometimes we do make some bad decisions, but that don't mean like, I see if you're listening to me. No, that ain't how it's supposed to work. Because then you just messing it up. No, you don't grind up in there in the wound. You like, but you know what? Everybody learned from the decision. You know what? You ain't got to say a word because a man know he done messed some stuff up. He know, and ain't that worse than trying to tear that ego down is already tore down. Like, that's all right. You know what? We can work this. It's always that positive thought.
Yeah.
It comes to like trust. You got to trust God, because when I say trust, I think about when when God healed Jesus healed the blind man with mud, if the blind man had known that he put mud on his face, I don't think he would have let him. First of all, he spit and then put mud. Me personally, if I had known you was gonna put mud on my face, I probably wouldn't have done it. I probably would have been like, nah, this ain't gonna work. Mud is mud. It's dirty. I don't want it in my face. But because that man had the trust and didn't know that that is what he used, he probably figured it out later. But he was still thankful, and he had to trust and believe in Jesus Christ that he was gonna be healed no matter what he did. That he had trust in him.
Well, you know, the good point about that, Terrence, and that's a good point, is that's why a lot of times before we get our deliverance, we got to be good and tired of being blind. Because when you good and tired of being blind, you don't care if he spit, whatever he spit, roll it in whatever you want to roll it in, whatever you want to roll it in, roll it in whatever you want, Jesus. I'm tired of being blind. And that's why a lot of times many of us we go through as long as we go through, because we like, I don't want to get like that, I don't want to be delivered. We start getting picky about how we want our deliverance done, not realizing that our deliverance is not necessarily our choice. It's however God want to do it, because it's for His glory. And so that's why a lot of times we got to be good and tired so we'll accept that muddy spit.
That's right. Okay, Mr. Zachary?
But a husband and a wife should be together through sickness and in health. That is in the vows, yes. Yeah, that's why you don't go different ways.
I know.
Yeah, this really doesn't go with the train of thought, but I was thinking that this movie connects with, let's call it The Encounter, because Jesus came in and stirred up in that town what he needed to, and helped out people that he chose. And what's his name? I think it was David, the black guy. He came from the town, and he's the one that brought change to that town, to those, 10 people, and they all came closer to God, and so did the people that were in the diner.
What movie you talking about?
The
I
Encounter.
know the encounter, but I'm trying to.
Because Jesus went from place to place helping people get closer to him.
That's the one
And
where people were out in the
They
middle
were
of
in
the
the middle of
wilderness.
nowhere, and
With
they
that
had
little-
the diner in the middle of
diner,
nowhere.
yeah.
Yeah,
And the guy Nathan, he moved from wherever to Georgia to change. Who knows if he was sent by God to change, to change town by town, moving. You know, you don't know.
You get what she's saying? Basically what she's saying is that Nathan probably had an assignment by God. He was sent to the police department because God needed him there to make that adjustment.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Whatever. So she's basically saying that God was using Nathan as a conduit because he needed something, because he knew what was going to happen, so he sent Nathan there to be in the midst of it to make that
To
shift.
plant the seed.
Exactly, okay, gotcha.
It's some good soul.
That's a good analogy,
And that's
Johnson.
good, because that's what, and we talk about being change agents and going into places and changing situations.